It's important to remember that defeating BTs isn't the same as eliminating a threat once and for all. These entities are simply being driven back to the world of the dead for the time being.
Feels good.
Somebody lend me a hand! Good day, Sam. Anybody out there? Let's go, me!
Sam, your next order requires you to recover an escaped kangaroo, the subject of an important experiment. Seems the bushland area it hopped off to is one where the chiral density is extremely high, meaning you'll need to get it back to the animal shelter ASAP to ensure its safety. This is a ticking clock situation, Sam. I'll brief you on the details while you review your map. Accept the main order from this delivery terminal when you're ready to get underway. Hey Sam, Charlie here. Since this is your first order involving the capture and preservation of animals, allow me to provide additional information. The kangaroo you're looking for is somewhere in this area. Once you've arrived, use your Odra deck to begin searching for the creature. You can transport the kangaroo in your standard issue animal carrier. No need to fabricate anything unique. Get close enough to the kangaroo and deploy the carrier to capture it. It will be a bulky piece of cargo, but you should be able to carry it on your back like any other container. However, you will need to traverse some heavily wooded mountains as well as rivers and uneven terrain. Bear this in mind when considering what equipment to take with you. All right, time to proceed with route planning and final preparations.
Commencing route creation. delivery route finalized.
Order accepted. Thank you.
Can't wait until our next chance to speak.
What in the world?
We have a situation, Sam. I'm tracking a fresh bushfire near the injured kangaroo's location. Clock's ticking. Secure the poor little bugger ASAP and bring the shelter onto the chiral network. Once the DHV Magellan can join you on site, we'll see what we can do about that fire.
Look out, Sam! Fire! We need to get away from here as quickly as possible. Sam, over there! I see the kangaroo! Get close enough to put it in an animal carrier for transport. All right, time to make our getaway.
Now leaving.
This was marked as a dangerous location on your map, Sam. We could get trapped here by the bushfire. Let's keep moving to ensure that doesn't happen. Still not sure how we survived that. Anyway, we have a Cupid to connect, right?
Good day, Sam. Drawbridge credentials verified. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected.
You must be Sam. We've heard all about you from your friends at Drawbridge. Go ahead and connect us to the chiral network.
Thank you, Sam. Don't worry about the fire. Rainey will put it out for us.
Tell me though, who is she exactly?
It's been about 6 months now, since I first heard about the girl who brought the rain.
Whenever I stepped outside, the timefall came. There was nothing that I could do to make it stop. And they hated me for it. Including my parents, who told me to leave. I was the witch who brought the timefall. A monster to be locked up in a cage. A few even tried to burn me alive. The most dedicated witch hunters. I struck out on my own. I was alone for so long. In desperation, I enrolled in a special UCA program. Hoping to find purpose as a mother. Hi there. You're safe. But even after I got pregnant, I still couldn't find anyone willing to take me in. I'm sorry.
No!
We need to leave right now.
Please!
God, get out of here!
No one wanted anything to do with me. All they saw was a witch, to be hated and feared. Until that day. I'm so sorry.
Hey there. You're Rainey, aren't you?
Who's asking?
Someone who's been looking for you. For you and your power.
You want my power? Why?
You're a pharmacon. Medicine that can harm, poison that can heal. It's all in how you use it. Want to come work for me? I believe you can save the world.
You do?
There are things only you can accomplish.
Only me. Really?
Really. My name's Fragile. And I'm happy we could finally meet. I'm here for you. For both of you. I'll be your umbrella. And together we'll show the world the hope in your reign. Come on. We wouldn't want the baby to catch a cold. Come on.
Thank you. That was quite the display. Drawbridge is even more amazing than we'd heard. Thanks to everything you've done for us. The animals are unharmed and the facilities are holding up just fine. It's a wonderful relief. Anyway, I'll check your orders now. Kangaroo seems to be in fine spirits. You took good care of it, I can tell. I can't believe you found this. We'd all but given up hope. I hope you'll continue to work with us.
Now displaying your current order grade.
rescued seems to be alright, thank goodness. Oh, she's so very special to us, and we're relieved to have her back in one piece. Once she's had a bit more time to recuperate, we'll move her to the reserve next door where you can visit anytime you like. By the way, we've uploaded our decoy hologrenade data to the network. You can trigger it remotely once thrown, creating a distraction that'll lure enemies away. It might just save your life if you run afoul of any troublemakers. Well, we first found her in an area with high concentrations of chiralium. How wild animals are affected by prolonged exposure is something we still don't understand completely. But it's thought this may be a key factor in how chiral creatures come into existence. So, you can see why our wee girl would be an invaluable research subject. It's where we look after the animals in our care. The vegetation around here didn't die out like elsewhere, and we still have a reliable water supply. After we screen each animal in our underground facilities, we release them into the reserve and monitor their health over time. When that kangaroo you rescued is strong enough, we'll move her up top where she'll be able to stretch her legs. That being said, changes in the environment can have a profound impact on many species, causing never-before-seen creatures to appear, throwing the ecosystem into chaos. Which is why we strive to preserve native animals here for future generations. Cheers, Sam. You really helped us out. At this rate, we're poised to lose so many native species that predate the Death Stranding. And once they're gone, there's no getting them back. Between the bushfires caused by chiral cinders and animals behaving strangely and getting hurt, it's been pretty bad. But I've heard that these environmental anomalies might be resolved once and for all when Australia is fully linked up. So I've got high expectations for you and your friends. Speaking of which, how would you feel about assisting us with our preservation efforts? It'd be a simple matter of capturing any wild animals you see out on their own and bringing them to us. Even a few would make a real difference. Give it some thought, eh?
Well done, Sam. Return to the DHV Magellan and report to the bridge. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Rainey and her talents.
Order completed. Well done.
Much appreciated. I mean it.
Yeah, sure thing.
We owe you one. Till next time.
Thank you, guys. Bring it in.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam.
Thanks for the help. This one's for you.
there!
There was a time when I was shattered at every hit of soul.
Thank you,
Now
God.
I barely feel the same when I...
When she's outside, Rainey's constantly surrounded by timefall. But within a 1.5-meter radius of her body, a different kind of precipitation is observed. We call it core fall. Anything it touches is restored to an earlier state. In other words, it has the power to heal and repair, to counteract timefall's effects. Sadly, people only see the timefall, and not the remarkable woman standing in the eye of the storm. Still no signs of growth?
I should be due any day now. If things were normal, that is. But the baby's still stuck at 7 months.
She has still baby syndrome. Have you ever heard of it?
I met a few preppers in Mexico that had something like that.
They're not isolated cases. It seems to be happening everywhere. Though who knows if it's a syndrome or a symptom of something else.
Simply put, the fetus stops growing at about 7 months. To be clear, it doesn't die, but it no longer moves, as if it's frozen in time. Several treatments, including C-sections, have been attempted. Unfortunately, removal from the womb invariably results in death. And while not all pregnancies are affected, it's yet another contributing factor to the already low birth rate. The Genetic Diversity Conservation Initiative just isn't enough to compensate.
You got any idea what's causing it?
There's speculation that it's due to an imbalance in the beach itself. I'm sure it's been explained to you before that countless individual beaches exist, a multiverse of beaches, so to speak, and that they are all governed by an upper beach on a higher plane. Expansion of the chiral network to cover the whole UCA may have inadvertently disrupted the link to that beach. Or so they think.
BB units were also 7-month-old fetuses. So it's not hard to believe that the beach might very well influence the unborn.
While I can offer you no concrete answer, I can state that the plan to extend the chiral network into the Australian continent, to take it worldwide, is also intended to help restore balance to the aforementioned upper beach. And in doing so, it is possible that we may resolve the issue of still baby syndrome.
Like a child.
Please take measures to withstand the heat. Hydration recommended.
Sam, it's Charlie. I'm pleased to inform you that you can now use the map on your ring terminal to check the weather forecast. We utilize information provided by Rainey, as well as local historical data, to make predictions. Take them into consideration when plotting your routes.
Order accepted. Thank you.
Sam, Tarman here. A short while ago, the tar currents became incredibly unstable. It's gotten so bad that the DHV Magellan can't travel safely. We're still looking into what might have caused this, and we'll be in touch the second we know more.
They're very close now.
legs.
Welcome back, fam. Hey, thanks for coming to visit. I see you've returned. Glad to have you back. Reviewing the order information now. Of all the things you could have brought us, I believe this data could be of use to you. Take it, with my thanks. We're increasing the amount of materials allocated for your use. Make the most of it.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
The data I'm sharing with you is for a solar generator that can be attached to your backpack. When equipped, it uses solar power to automatically recharge your batteries over time. It can be a real lifesaver, especially when you're traveling between places you know don't have traditional generators. Try it out, and I know you'll agree.
Came in handy.
君を愛してる刻む一拍の永遠を電車の中で
All cargo onto the shelf in the back.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Just a little bit more.
Good evening, Sam.
Gotta stretch my legs. Okay.
Delivery terminal to
Evening to you. Look at this bounty. Ouch. Is this cargo what I think it is? Wow. We have some data that we think you might like. Give it a look. We're upping the amount of materials you can take from our store.
Now displaying your current order grade.
This data we've shared with you is the schematic for a holo grenade. You can if you like.
coming to us so late. I almost can't believe how good this... We didn't think we'd ever get this, but here you are, surprise gift in hand. You've worked so hard on our behalf. We want you to have this data as thanks. We're increasing the amount of materials allocated for your use.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
This data is for a miniature battery unit. Clip it to your backpack to give your battery capacity. Its compact size means it won't get in the way of your other equipment. Good luck with everything.
I've been thinking about what happened to Lou. Fragile holds herself personally responsible for those tragic events. If Higgs was indeed behind the attack, then I can understand why she feels that way. Why she blames herself for setting everything in motion. But she's resolved not to let any of it show. Bottle it up and put on a brave face. She didn't used to smoke before, did she? I suspect it's a form of self-punishment she's adopted. Vengeance gives rise to a cycle of violence, and Higgs wouldn't have it any other way. But she's committed to helping you complete this journey, together with Lou, to get you back on your feet. And if she believes she has to bury her emotions and play the part of a hard-nosed commander to do that, she will. That's what I think, anyway. I'm sure you can understand her position.
That's the place.
Sam. Drawbridge credentials verified. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
Access the delivery terminal to process your...
Wait, are you Sam? Then does that mean you carried this hefty delivery all the way from West Fort Knott? Way to make an entrance. We welcome you with open arms. Now let's get this cargo of yours processed. Amazing. You handled this delivery with the utmost care. Great work. I hope you'll continue to support us in the days ahead. All right. Can you connect your Cupid to our facility?
Now displaying your current order grade.
And now we're finally connected to the chiral network. This should make our job so much easier. And to make your job easier, I've gone ahead and shared data for a suit I think you'll love. Oh, right. I also wanted to give you this as thanks. Introducing the Blood Boomerang. Throw it properly and it'll come right back to your hand. It's a reusable weapon in that regard. Folds up nicely too, so it's quite easy to carry. You'll find it's especially effective against BTs, so give it a try against the next one you meet. With the aid of your network, we should also be able to develop stronger measures to defend against belligerents, which we need since the brigands out west have rapidly improved their arsenal in recent days. Honestly, you couldn't have gotten here at a better time. Thanks be to you, we'll finally be able to focus on our research. As the chiral network has expanded, we're seeing more and more anomalies outside of the bounds of its coverage. This has led the brigands to conclude that the network itself is responsible for the worsening state of the world, which is why they're opposed to its expansion. But it's not like we can sit back and do nothing. If we don't try to improve things, humanity's doomed to go extinct. After I moved to Australia, the locals learned me all the ins and outs of the boomerang. I then designed a new type that's effective against BTs as well. You infuse it with Doom's blood before throwing it. The bigger the charge, the greater the potency. Naturally, most people would have to rely on blood bags sourced from donors, but since you have Doom's, you can also use your own blood on the spot. Unlike traditional firearms, it hardly makes noise. If your enemies don't actually see you throw it, they'll have a hard time finding you. That said, don't expect it to do too much damage to humans. Not unless you manage to hit them in just the right spot, at least. One day they started sporting a whole lot more weaponry, including grenade launchers with custom tranquilizing gas rounds. Thing is, the brigands don't have a chiral printer at their base, as far as we know. So, where'd they get all the new hardware all of a sudden? Kinda worrying, don't you think? At this observatory, we focus on monitoring the behavior of tar currents. There's a patch of BT territory due north of here, and just beyond it is land that's currently being subsumed by tar. There's no telling when the facility will be lost to the tar as well. So it's important that we contribute to the research and development of countermeasures while we can. Incidents of tar current instability have grown more frequent, but we haven't been able to determine much more than that thus far. Thanks to the chiral network, though, we expect we'll be able to improve our instrument accuracy.
We appreciate the help. Best of luck to you, Sam. The tar currents are acting up again. Guess it's back to work for me. Let's both keep on keeping on.
That was excellent work, Sam. Thanks to you, the better part of the Western continent has access to our services. Now it's time for you to head north and continue to expand network coverage. It is imperative that you connect all of Australia, stabilizing the environment and eliminating the remaining anomalies. There will be challenges, of course, but I know you have what it takes to overcome them. I expect more great things from you, in short.
Sam, this is Tarman. We believe that we finally determined the location of whatever's thrown the tar currents into chaos. The chiralium levels there are pretty high, though, and BTs are almost certain to be present as well. I hate to ask, but would you mind taking a look for us? It's close to your current position. I've sent you the coordinates. We're counting on you, Sam.
Hmm.